On the event page. I'll let you watch it live. Go to the info.
Good evening, agents. I am Daphne D, your co-host for Behind the Scanner. Welcome to episode number 15 of our weekly Thursday night broadcast. It is August 14th, 2014, and I am very excited to introduce our second co-host for tonight, Andrew Krug, also known as Red Solo Cup in-game. Welcome, Andrew.
Hello. Thursday again, I guess, huh?
Again.
Man, all right. Well, welcome back from the Richmond Anomaly, Daphne. I'm sure you've got lots of stories that we can talk about. I'm sure you've upped your portal count again. Or what are you at, like 10,000 now? 15,000?
I think I'm almost 14,000.
Oh, wow, crazy. All right. For those of you out there that are watching, just a reminder that if you can't watch the host show live, you can watch it about an hour or two afterwards. It'll get uploaded automatically to our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/behindthescanner. As always, we've enabled the Q&A tool for the Hangout, so if you have any questions that you want to submit, just go ahead and submit them. And if you can do us a favor, you can type the @ symbol and the person's name that you want us to ask the question to. We appreciate it. Or you can type @ both if you want us to ask it to both of them. And with that, our third co-host for tonight is a man you know you love from Mexico, Jorge Pedrero. In game, you can ping him as Triskel. So welcome back, Jorge.
Hello, and yes, it's Thursday again, and our 16th show. It's amazing. I'm really happy about that. We have a Google form that you can use to submit some questions for our guests. For recommendations for guests to the future shows. So this is, you can find it on bit.ly/BTS_guest. And well, let's get started.
Let's do that. So our first guest comes from a state that once a year is filled with bullshit. It's the largest rodeo in the world, Colorado, the Western Stock Show. So we have another agent from Colorado, Scott Jacobs, also known as Pondering Chimp. Welcome, Scott. How are you doing?
Honored to be on the show.
There you go. Now you're good. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. So why don't you get comfortable, sit back, relax, and we'll start off the show. Tell me about your mother. Just
what? What?
All right. For those of you that
my mother is in.
Yeah, we're gonna get philosophical tonight. We're gonna forget Ingress. We're just gonna go straight into the daddy issues and mommy issues. So you are
throwing me for a curve.
I like to throw you for a curve because you're one of the most interesting people I know, and I honestly don't even know where to begin. So why don't we start with, can you tell people a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do for a living, perhaps, I guess?
Sure. Actually, I would rather current job, something I want to talk about. Still looking for something better, but first and foremost, I'm a dad. I have a 6, almost 7-year-old son, and he's like my entire, everything for me. So I'm kind of a sports enthusiast, definitely techie, game enthusiast, love Ingress, everything about it. A little bit on the liberal progressive side.
All right. Oh, excuse me. Let's address the fact why the Pondering Chimp. and all the chimpanzee pictures in your G plus B.
You there, Scott? Uh-oh.
I'm.
Looks like we're
always
having
been fascinated by
technical
them.
difficulties.
But the guy sitting there, you know, thinking. There's a version of that with the idea of that, and found a portal in Loveland, which is close to where I live, monkey that's called Pondering Chimpanzee, and really enjoyed it. It's kind of the philosophical side of things, and the fact that we are still somewhat, you know, animals, even though we're a higher level than most. But yeah.
Hey Scott, we're gonna do some live technical troubleshooting on the air with you, because for all of us, you're kind of cutting in and out for a little bit. At the very top of your screen, where you can hang up and mute things, there should be an icon that looks like a cell phone bar signal thing. Click on that to adjust your bandwidth.
Yes.
If it's set on auto HD, just drop it down like a notch or two. There you go. That also made everything fit too, so that's good.
Okay. Can you hear me okay now?
Ooh, much better.
Okay.
Let's do take two.
You want me to go back?
Why? Yeah. Why the pondering?
Yeah. 3, 2.
And again. So again, it's kind of gone back. You know, the old thinker statue. There's a version of that with a monkey holding the planet Earth and looking at it. It's always been one of my kind of favorite things. I was considering getting a tattoo of that at one point, but there's also a portal in Loveland, which is not too far from me, called Pondering Chimpanzee, and just the idea of the fact that we're still animals, yet we're a higher conscious, and you know, philosophically and pondering and that sort of thing. It's it kind of fits with my personality. So
That makes sense.
Well, and this is because of your chimpanzee's behavior, or what did you do? Because I know that you had broken some bones and have a dozen stitches. Are you a stuntman or just a bit clumsy?
no, not so much clumsy. Most of the injuries have been sports related, but a few of them were just stupid things that I have done. The broken bones, 3 of the 4 were sports related. The 4th was me trying to break a door down when I was about 11. Broke my collarbone trying to do it. So broken the same collarbone twice, left hand, left pinky. Most of that was sports, football, soccer, things like that. But just very active and worried about my son doing the same things to me that I did to my mom now.
Okay.
Interesting. Now, like our sometime co-host Kelly Colton, you are from Illinois, and I'm assuming a huge sports fan.
Absolutely, yes.
So then, White Sox or Cubs?
Unlike most Chicagoans, I like both teams, but definitely Cubs. I've always been a Cubs fan, and it's been pretty bleak most of my life being a Cubs fan, but right now the organization is really doing well, and a bunch of young, good talent coming up, so a lot of people are predicting the Cubs will be very good over the next several years. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not, but definitely a Cubs fan. Greg Maddux, favorite all-time baseball player. So. And then, of course, all the other Chicago sports as well, especially the Blackhawks, who have been awesome the last 5 years. You know, so it's, along with the good and bad, you know, we have Derrick Rose back for the Bulls, and so things are looking good for Chicago sports at the moment.
Right on. Congrats.
Well, as a Detroit Lions fan, and actually our second guest, who's from Michigan and right near the Wisconsin border, we might we'll see how the Bears do. We'll see how the Bears do.
Yeah, was a big Cutler fan in the beginning. The guy's got so much talent, such a strong arm, but it's the mental side of it that he always struggles with. So we'll see. He's got so much talent around him. It's going to be hard for him not to have a good year. But I think last year their defense was the biggest issue, and they've made improvements there. So we'll see what they can do this year. But I think the Packers are still got to be the favorite in that division. So
Yeah, as long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy, I think they got a shot.
absolutely.
So, well, riddle me this. So, you're from Illinois. Actually, before we get to this next question, how did you get from Illinois to Colorado?
Actually, when I was about 3 or 4, my mom and dad divorced, and my dad moved out here. So he's been out here over 40 years. So I used to come out here for vacation as a kid, quite a bit, summer vacations and that, and just fell in love with the mountains and pretty much the whole state. So when I was in my early 20s, I moved out here. So I've been out here over 20 years now, and it's just a great place. I mean, you have the mountains, the climate is awesome. You still have the 4 seasons, but drier climate, much nicer conditions, and the people out here are amazing. That's the best part about it. A lot of great people in Colorado. So
There's also a 5th season now, I believe. They call it the green season in Colorado. Year round, from what I understand. So,
yeah.
all right, well, going on to my next question. So, again, I think you're a fascinating person. So, riddle me this. What on earth would possess somebody to climb all 54 of the 14,000 plus peaks in Colorado? Do you get like a medal for it? Is there a badge in real life that you get for it?
You know, there isn't really, other than your own pride, I guess. But I love mountain climbing. It's something that, again, I love the mountains. So when I was, about 15 years younger, I had the thought that I could do all 54. I haven't quite gotten there. I've done about half of them. I'm up to about 24, 25. But yeah, it's just a challenge. Everyone is different. Some of them are really long. Some of them are much steeper. So it's a different challenge every time. And of course, now with Ingress, having a portal on a mountaintop is awesome. You know, for guardians or fielding, either way, it's a good portal to own. So, but yeah, I hope to do more under my belt here soon.
And just a reminder for those of you watching, if you've got a question that you want to ask Scott, we've got our live Q&A app up, so you just click the Q&A and type a question. Just type @Scott and type it in there, and we'll ask him in a little bit. Sort of getting back onto this topic. So you've got portals at the tops of mountains. What has been the, I don't want to say scariest, but the most harrowing, most, what's the journey that's sort of made you a little bit nervous?
You know, there's really not anything dangerous, I wouldn't say. Long's Peak is my favorite, and that can be pretty tricky in the wintertime. Climbing the wintertime is a lot more difficult. As a matter of fact, an agent and I tried to climb Mount Evans back in the late winter, early spring, and we got about 6 or 7 miles up, and were forced to turn back around because there were road crews up there that said the snow was just too bad and wouldn't let us go any further. So they said for our own safety and that sort of thing. So there can definitely be dangers involved with it, but in the summertime it's just a matter of the length that it takes, not so much the danger. But yeah, there's definitely some tricky ones out there, and we have one really close to us here in Fort Collins called Horsetooth. It's a local favorite, and it's only about an hour hike to get to the top. But there's definitely a lot of switchbacks and things where you have to be careful. Areas that get icy. So some people have fallen. Another local Enlightened agent got a little bit hurt falling up there one time. Nothing serious, but yeah, it can be risky for sure. So, but that kind of makes it a challenge for you, and of course when you actually, it's worth it. I think you get that sense of accomplishment. So,
also a great anchors portal, I guess, right?
Absolutely. We've been contacted by people from all over the country asking us to take certain portals to help them build megafields, so that's kind of fun.
Interesting.
Well, Scott, I'm really, really sad because after all that risk and effort to climb up there, you don't have any badges. But there's a place where you receive badges, and let's talk a little bit about Ingress now. You are famous for the Colorado Cross-Faction Ingress Awards. Can you talk a little bit about that and how this idea come to you to make it possible?
Absolutely. That's something that is definitely a great pride for all of Colorado Ingress. The resistance leader here, Bruce Kramer, is a very good friend of mine. Spark is his name in game. Him and I had kind of talked about the idea about a year ago, just kind of threw it around. As you know, cross-faction relations are difficult in some areas. Colorado has always been very fortunate that we've always gotten along and respected each other, that sort of thing. But Bruce and I were kind of looking for something to do to, increase that and get more cross-faction friendliness going. So we had kind of talked about it, and then Joe Philly had contacted us and said he was going to be visiting Denver. So that kind of pushed the idea that, hey, we really need to do this while Joe's here. And then, as you all probably know, Jess Ranowski, Dispatch Dirt, moved to Colorado right prior to that. And so with Bruce and I, and then with Jess and several other agents, I think we had 4 or 5 agents from each faction. We started a planning committee and just kind of came up with ideas for different awards and kind of used the community to bounce that. And we actually had people voting on the awards as well, so we could get a general consensus, not just from a small group, but from everybody about who was deserving of getting the awards. And it turned out so great. The day of the award show, or the award banquet, it was about 12 inches of snow and probably about 15 degrees outside, and we still had a turnout of about 80 agents. So it was a great day, and Joe was there, and Linda Besch was there, and Kira Kroger was there. So it was just a great thing. We definitely plan on doing one again this year. So we'll have the 2nd annual Colorado Ingress Awards coming probably in January of 2015. So yeah, something we're very proud of and was great. That's what behind me, my little friend there, the dinosaur. I got that for community leadership, and then the little key, which I don't know if you can see that well, but we did a few posts about this. We had these made with 3D printers, and we had our own little Elite 5 in Colorado. So it was a great night, a lot of fun, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. So.
Wow, that does sound like pretty fun. I might steal that idea. In fact, I'll give you credit then. But
we've tried, yeah. We suggest every community do it because it really helps bring the factions together. During the evening, we told stories of different ops and different things, and got different people to come on stage and tell different Ingress stories. So it really was fun and a great success.
So I think a lot like me, you've been around since the very beginning. So back in my day, what was it like to be the first level 8? You were there by yourself. You were the first one in Colorado. How long did it take?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to, like you said, start in November of 2012. So I was one of the first players to get an invite here, and I had a lot of free time at that time. I was unemployed, so I believe it took me 37 days to get to level 8, which back in those days, as you know, that was pretty quick. Didn't have near as many portals or opportunities to get AP. I was very proud of the fact it only took 37 days, and then shortly after that, another agent on our side came and did it in 31 and kind of put me in my place. So, and since then, of course, it can be done a lot faster. But it was definitely something I was very proud of. I really wanted to. We had a resistance agent that was really close to me as well, Devin, who I think we both were at 7, and so I did kind of a push to beat him there. So yeah, it was fun, and I got there before the end of 2012, so just before New Year's. So it was definitely an achievement, something I still brag about.
Very cool.
Very cool, Scott. Do you mind if we get some questions from the audience?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we have a question from Jik Sheng Li from your faction that is asking us which character is in the English world would you like to likely follow, and why?
That's an easy one, I think, and for most Enlightened agents, I think it's got to be Hank Johnson. And I was fortunate enough to meet Hank in Boulder during the recursion anomaly, so I think he is has less issues than most of the others, and seems to be more straightforward in telling the truth, or at least what he knows, and definitely a strong character, and somebody that very proud to represent the Enlightened faction, and doesn't seem to have an ulterior motive like a lot of the other characters do. So I definitely follow Hank, probably more so than Jarvis.
Okay, well, we have our this guy is always watching the show, and nobody knows him, but well, he's asking. He's asking, can you explain what jeering is? This is from Nicholas Moore.
From Nick.
By the way, if you don't know him,
I know Nick very well. Nick is another one. I have a lot of very good resistance agents that are friends, including you, Jorge. But Nick got a hold of me a long time ago, early in the game when the hint water first came out. I had done a post showing the caps and different things, and Nick reached me through a hangout asking me about hint water, and ever since then, him and I have always talked. And yeah, we're in a hangout that has a few resistance and a few Enlightened agents, and it's very fun to hang out, and jeering is part of it. We have fun with kind of friendly trash talk and that sort of thing, and it's yeah, I really respect Nico. He's a great guy. He's done a lot for the game, but we have fun talking back and forth about the two sides. He was Enlightened at one time, of course, but yeah, it's just kind of a fun thing we do back and forth.
I think he was Enlightened a couple times, actually.
Yes, switched several times, yeah.
Well, talking about factions, why did you choose Enlightened?
I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but when I first started, the main reason I chose it was because the Resistance were so dominant at that time. So I chose it more as the underdog role than I did as far as the storyline. But once I learned more, I think I would have chosen Enlightened anyways, just because of the philosophy of it, of seeking knowledge, seeking truth. The alien side of it, I still don't think the Shapers are insidious. I don't think they're evil. At least there has been nothing to show that at this point. And I think we need to be open-minded when it comes to that. So I'm very happy that I chose the Enlightened, and I know I've been asked by a lot of people if I'd ever switch, but I don't think I ever would. I don't even think I'd go to a third faction. I'm pretty much bleed green now, so and the friends that I've made, of course, on both sides, but on the Enlightened side especially, I'm very involved with a lot of that, so it would be very difficult to switch now, and yeah, I'm very, very happy to be Enlightened.
Well, you are Enlightened, but you came now. Well, you are now a chimp, but you came from another kind of animal. Why the switch?
Yes, Godzilla, my old name. Yeah, Niantic kind of got me on this one. If you remember, back before they increased the levels, the talk of increased levels was that AP wouldn't matter. So I played for almost a year, gotten up to 12 million, so I averaged about $1 million a month for a year. And then I was not so much bored, but just wanted a new challenge. So I thought, oh well, I could just reset and start over and make that a challenge. Well, I did. The reset took 9 weeks, so I actually had figured they weren't going to let me or just didn't accept it. So in the middle of nowhere, playing one night, all of a sudden my account got reset, and I went down to level 1 blue Godzilla. Which kind of freaked a lot of people out. I actually took a screenshot of it.
I remember that.
Yeah, probably not real smart. A lot of people started questioning whether I was, still legitimately Enlightened. But But yeah, it was, again, before levels came out, before badges came out, and I didn't think it was a big deal. And of course, shortly after that, they said, you know, levels will come out and you have to have AP and badges. And so now I should be a level 13 or 14 with my badges, but my AP is only about 7 million right now. So kind of hosed myself with that one. In retrospect, I'm not sure I would have done it.
Yeah, I remember you freaked out so many people.
Yeah, got a lot of questions on that one, but I am definitely truly enlightened. I think I've proven that at this point now. So.
Well, great. Well, I, for one, am definitely grateful that you have chosen Enlightened. And I heard about a lot of your Ingress missions, at least secondhand. So would you mind sharing at least one, preferably which was your most favorite?
You know, and that's kind of funny because my favorite is still probably the first, second large field I ever did. Back again early in the game, I think it was probably January or February of 2013. Decided that we needed to field over the entire metro area of Denver, and it hadn't been done yet at that point. So just one other agent, Res Dog, and I, Joel Wampler, who's a great friend, came up with the idea. I had the keys and picked 3 remote areas around the metro area to use, and we got down. He got to his portal, I got to mine, and we went to throw the links, and there was a brand new green player up in Estes Park that threw a blocking link and covered the portal we were going to use. So we were like, okay, we're not going to let this stop us. And fortunately, I had 2 keys to another portal that wasn't blocked by the linkers, or wasn't blocked. And so I told Joel, hey, if you want to meet me, we were about 80 miles apart at the time. Like, if you want to meet me halfway, we can still do this. And fortunately, Joel was as much of an addict as I was at that time, so he's like, heck yes. So we drove, 40 miles each way, met, exchanged the keys, drove 40 miles back, and got it to go. So it was extremely exciting. It was a little disappointing the MU count was only 500,000 when we were covering about 4 million people. But because of the equation, of course, they use, it was only that. But to this day, and the funny part too is it actually glitched, and the field, even though the resistance went to take it down and took out the portal, it stayed up for about 24 hours. So yeah, back in the early days of those kind of glitches. So, but yeah, it was to this day that's still probably my most memorable one. It was just the first field to cover the whole city of Denver, and of course the resistance weren't real happy about it, and some of them did congratulate us. But it definitely helped morale on our side at that time. So yeah, that was probably my favorite, although I have been involved in many, many others since then.
Oh, well, Scott, I have 2-part questions for you here. You said mountains aren't dangerous for portals hunting. So what is the most dangerous portal you have found, and what is the most amusing portal you have seen in the game?
That's a tough question. I don't know if we have any really dangerous portals here. I suppose private property type ones are ones where there's a sculpture park not too far and it closes at 10 p.m. and people go there and play after that. So the trespassing issues. I did have a run-in with a federal law officer up in Wyoming when I went to it was a VA hospital, and I didn't realize I shouldn't be there. Went through the parking lot and took a couple portals, and as I was leaving, I got pulled over by him. So that was a little scary, having a federal agent detain you for a second and try to explain what I was doing, with a video game and yeah. But the most amusing or most interesting is we have a portal in downtown Denver that is one of Bruce's, the resistance leader here, one of his work portals. It's graffiti art by David Cho. It's a really neat thing, but everybody does what they call selfies with Spark when they go to that portal. It's kind of become a theme here. If you go capture that portal, you have to do a selfie with the picture and of course post that as selfies with Spark. So that's probably one of the funnest portals we have here. And of course, we always get a kick out of giving Bruce a hard time about it. So
That's fun. Well, Scott, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us tonight and being our first guest. Would you mind sticking around for a bit for our panel discussion if time allows?
Absolutely, I would. And again, just honored you guys invited me and appreciate the chance to talk to everybody. So.
Oh, appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
Thank you very much, Scott, for being with us. And well, our second guest comes from the state where the first soda in U.S. was made. Soda. Although, to be correct, he is a Yooper from Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Please welcome Brian Geniesse. Oh,
You're muted.
I can hear you.
I can see your lips moving.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
He's saying that.
It's live.
He's saying, Jorge,
Brian.
you have fantastic hair, and he really loves my beard, and it's good to see Daphne back.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being with us tonight. And Brian
had a little bit of last-minute technical difficulties when his laptop fried right before he was connecting, or actually as he was connecting.
I unmute him actually. Let me try. Oh no.
Yeah, he's not muted.
He's unmuted.
I hear noise.
He might be muted on his phone though.
No.
We can do like Mystery Science Theater 3000. He can talk, and we can just ask the questions.
Yeah. Well, what I don't know is who's he's talking with.
There's somebody next to him. So Jorge, do you know? You mentioned that he's a Yooper. Do you know what a Yooper is?
No, I don't know. I was going to ask him that exactly, but you can answer that.
See, I grew up in Wisconsin, and Michigan is a state that's sort of separated by a lake, and part of the state is actually connected to Wisconsin. So we call them Yoopers because they're from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so UP, so UPers.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like if Scott was still online or Kelly Colton was here in Wisconsin. I guess, man, we're kind of derogatory to people. We would call them from Illinois FIBS. Stands for F in Illinois, fill in the blank. Wait, we got sound. I heard something. Oh, he was there for a second.
Brian. Recommendation, Brian, go out and come back to the hangout.
We could try that. So, Daphne, talk to us about Richmond for a little bit. What was that like? I didn't get a chance to get down there.
I know, we were very disappointed to miss you over there. I have to say I was really impressed with the Richmond team and their organization and even just their attention to detail with taking care of each of us with all our different particular needs. It's a really great environment, very historic. And we created, I think, a little bit of our own history during, I think, right after the second measurement while we were, I think just about everybody was on the Virginia State Capitol Square. One of our teammates ended up proposing to his girlfriend, which was really beautiful to see and hear about. Unfortunately, I was down the hill at the time that it happened. But I'm really glad that the cameras were there to capture the moment. So if people have not seen the Ingress report, please watch it, at least just for that moment.
There's actually something unique happened. In fact, what I'm going to try to do right now is share my screen. So Jesse, if you're listening to this, you can pick me and put this up. What happened was we got with Niantic a little bit in advance. I got Marwan in touch with some of their guys, and the reason why they were at where they were at was Niantic created a 5-minute temporary portal that was named Marwan's Heart. And actually, I believe Tabor from Richmond photoshopped this image. Oh, we might have him back for a second. And it's the ring in the box that Marwan used to propose. So his now fiance was there, saw this portal go live. First off, wondering why the heck all the actions over that way, and they're over here. But nonetheless, saw it, and Marwan got down on his knee and proposed and used the ring in the box that you see in this picture of the portal to propose. So that was kind of cool. They did a special little one-off for him and tied that in. So that was the actual ring and portal. So she was able to capture Marwan's heart, the portal. So that was kind of cool. However, unfortunately, because temporary portals like NL1331 can kind of go away, she forgot to put it in the capsule and save it.
Oh no!
Oh.
Yeah. She didn't know about that little catch-22. So she captured his heart. That's all that matters. She said yes, and it'll be a story they can tell their kids. But other people have keys, and there's that image that'll last forever. So let's take a second and see what's going on.
Well, why not to bring back? Oh, I'm back. Oh yeah, Brian is almost here.
5 more
Almost.
seconds. So, Daphne, what was the turnout like? It looked like there was a lot of people from the pictures.
Yeah, I haven't really been on the ground for an anomaly in a while, so it was pretty overwhelming to actually see more Enlightened than Resistance for once. So we did take a cross-faction picture, and I think for a while we were interspersed, and then I think for the most part the people, one faction was on one side and the other faction was on the other. And yeah, I was really tremendously impressed at how many people would show up for a secondary site. I heard that there were so many people for the Philadelphia one, and I mean, after Gettysburg, which was incredibly overwhelming for my introvert side, it was really neat to see like everyone come down, either come down from the north to Richmond and come up from the south over there.
Jorge, you guys, although Mexico's a big country, you guys have one coming up too, right?
Yeah, we have this and only in Monterrey on September 6th.
Oh.
And well, we are really excited about that.
And how far away is Monterrey from Mexico City?
Oh, it is about like 9 hours if you are driving.
Wow.
So it's a little bit far.
You could fly there. Take a train. Ride a horse. Oh.
Ride a horse. That would be so awesome.
That would be. I'm not sure you'd be able to walk after. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to walk afterwards. But that would be epic. If you rode into Monterrey on a horse after driving or riding from Mexico City, that would be.
With awesome. My cowboy hat and everything, it would be. And the problem is to walk the cluster after riding the horse for so long.
Yeah, that might be a little painful. Let's see, when we have, not this weekend, because this is a weekend off, right? But we've got the weekend after next, which is Helios 5. We've got Prague, Manchester in the UK, and Rotterdam, Germany. Those all should be very interesting sites. Helios 6, we've got Detroit, Baltimore, and Indianapolis. Detroit's the primary. And I know that the after party, I won't spill the secret, but I think there's something cool that may happen, both the location and possibly an event that coincides. So if you're within driving distance, whatever that means to you, comfortable driving distance, maybe not 9 hours on a horse or 12 hours on a horse, but go to Detroit. It's going to be epic. Should be some really cool turnout and things going on there. I'm going to try to get to Baltimore. Are you going to Baltimore, Daphne?
I am, but you know what? I'm just realizing though that my sister goes to school. In fact, I was going to ask that question later on. But my sister goes to school in Michigan, so she's not very far from Detroit. So it's her last year, and it wouldn't be bad as an excuse to go up there. But No, Baltimore, it's my heart, and I've got a really, really amazing team that I'm working with, so I'm not abandoning them. Just kidding.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dads in the neighborhood that play now where I live. So what we're going to try to do is do a family weekend there and take, the wife and the kids, and they can go to the National Aquarium. Well, I don't think it's the National Aquarium. That's actually in D.C. But they can go to the aquarium that's right on the Inner Harbor, which is a fantastic aquarium, by the way. Go to the Science Museum. Do that with the kids and the wives, and then the guys will go off blowing up stuff and capturing things. So we're working on selling it to the women. We're working on selling it. So if we can get them to do that, then I think I will definitely be there for Baltimore. I'm looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, Indianapolis also. And I think that may be the first anomaly in Indianapolis. Is that right? I don't remember. I could be wrong on that.
Maybe. No, maybe. I think it could be the first then.
Yeah. And then so the following week after that, September 6th, we have Minneapolis, Minnesota, Monterrey, Mexico, and Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's a Latin American day because we have Monterrey, we have Colombia, and we have Paraguay, and we have Buenos Aires.
Oh my God, that sounds
All very cool places to go and be, especially this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
And then that wraps up September 6th. And then September 27th, so there's a couple weeks off in between September 26th and September 27th. Yeah. Normalies like that.
The normalies.
If you don't have a passport, you've got time to get a passport. The primaries are going to be in Munich and Tacoma, Washington. You don't need a passport to go to Tacoma, although you might need it to go across the border if you want to go visit.
I need it.
You need one, yeah. There's actually, I think there's two in Germany, right? Munich and it's not pronounced Gothenburg. I just butchered it. Gutenberg, and then Riga, and then Tacoma, and then Sacramento and Vancouver. So pretty epic schedule coming up. Well, let's pop back over and see what's going on with our friend Brian Geniesse. I think he's still having some technical issues, so why don't we do this? Let's, Scott. Is Scott still there, Scott?
No, I was going to say that. Let's bring Scott, but I think Scott go to the bathroom or something like that.
It's okay. It's okay. We can fill the time till one of them come back, or then we'll just shoot right into the panel discussion and talk about that. If push comes to shove, we can always reschedule Brian and bring him back a different day. And no harm, no foul. These things happen. It's live. So
yeah.
What else is going on in the world of Ingress today? The Ingress report was out. It came out today. We're talking about the anomalies and all the people that they had. I had actually a very interesting conversation with Yik Sheng from Kuala Lumpur.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
He said that he thinks the artifacts are dangerous, extremely dangerous. And a lot like Lloyd Hutchings has also been warning us, that Jarvis has been warning us about these things. Now, I don't know what kind of danger, if it's just towards one people or humanity, one faction, or humanity in general, but it seems pretty... Appreciate it. Brandon just sent us a message. If the other guest doesn't come back, you can dial in drunk again.
It's like those radio stations in LA when the rock stars calling.
Yeah. So Yik has got a lot of information. He's probably one of the foremost experts on the story, and it was interesting to kind of get his feedback on that. He mentioned dragons. He mentioned ending humanity. He mentioned a whole lot of things that seemed really, really scary. So you've kind of got the dichotomy of, from a player who just sort of likes the Xbox, smash and grab, deploy type game, you want to capture the artifacts because it will supposedly slow down the portal decay. But on the other hand, if there's this sort of unknown reason for capturing it, should we capture them? And also, they go towards the anomaly points in general, right? So, I don't know. It's kind of a tough thing to decide. What do you think, Jorge? Would you want to capture them for the sake of the anomaly points and for lowering decay, or Or are you for just risking it and capturing them and seeing what happens?
I don't know. I have a, well, sorry for the dog, but somebody's like trying to get into my home, and
It's one of those shows. It's all right.
I don't know.
Call
But
Mexico City on speed dial in case anything happens.
I don't know. I'm really uh, confused about artifacts, because, well, it's fun to play them in certain way. It's fun because you start, like, your hangouts start ringing like it was there was an earthquake or a fire in the house or whatever, because it starts pop up and you start talking with a lot of people and going into these plans, and if we are going to block or we are going to move that shard artifact or whatever, but at the end it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of other things that you have to pay attention to. And, well, we have this anomaly in Mexico, or we have the local activities and whatever, and sometimes it's so tired to do that, and I don't know. I don't, at the end I don't know if I have fun playing with the artifacts or not. I don't know. Really, I don't know.
What do you think, Daphne?
The difficult.
I burnt out, I think, after the first one. I mean, I have to admit, I kind of got a bitter experience the first when the first artifacts started showing up. Was that when they were the shards? And like the whole Calvin ball. I mean, I'm one of those people that likes clarity, and the changing of the rules, which seemed almost created. Yeah, it doesn't work well for me. So I don't know. I don't really care about the decay or anything. I'm just gonna play. That's what I do. I just play, and with whatever different modalities that come about, I just kind of work around them.
So I will say, Brandon Downey actually brought up a pretty interesting point. And in fact, give me 1 second. I'm going to actually get him in here. Send him the link. So our cameraman, who's been awesome, thank you, Jesse, for volunteering your time. Brandon Downey is going to try to join us live. Why not? Live TV. We've got dogs barking, babies crying, a guest who can't connect. I'm not wearing any pants. It's a great time. So,
and I'm eating banana.
yeah, and you're eating a banana. So see if we can get Brandon in here real quick and talk about it. He brings up an interesting point, and that is, as a member of the Enlightenment, he feels that we should try to activate a small subset of the artifacts to learn more about them before we judge them one way or the other. I think that's a very interesting point, because if Yick's predictions and others from Operation Essex, who they know the story, they're trying to decode everything. If their predictions are correct, that it could be dire for humanity, maybe capturing just a couple of them would allow us to sort of investigate it. And here he is, the man with the scotch.
And we have a Scott too.
Oh, Scott's back. Good. All right.
Brandon, how are you? First guest, been twice on the show.
We gotta unmute his mic, and you should be good to go. If their predictions are correct, that it could be dire for humanity, maybe capturing just a couple of them would allow us to sort of investigate it. And here he is.
I love the kitty.
Good. All right.
There's a little
bit of lag. So,
hey, it seems like everybody's talking at once.
Yeah, you got some lag going on.
1 sec.
We gotta unmute his mic, and he'll join us.
And there you went. Live, people.
Oh my God. Well,
It's all right. It's entertaining. Well,
I'm highly entertained.
if you can't laugh at yourself, then okay, he's back. Let's see. I think when he joined, he got all of our video all at once. That sometimes happens. You got to give it about 30 seconds to catch up. Brandon, you have to unmute yourself, or Jesse can do that for you.
You are muted, Brandon.
It's all frozen, it seems.
Yep, I think there's a lag.
Well, Agent Kelly has a question in the...
Or just
For who? For who?
That's very Willow of you, Andrew. The power to unmute myself was always in my own finger. Unfortunately, I'm not actually drinking this week because it's Artifact Week. So I tend to remain sober while all this stuff is going on and then drink after.
Brandon.
I am.
It's all frozen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I think there's a lag.
the simple thing I proposed was this: is that nobody knows what the artifacts are really about.
Well, Agent Kelly has a question. Okay.
Yeah. It's just that as a member of the
That's very Willow of you, Andrew. The power to unmute myself was always in my own finger.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, I'm not actually drinking this week because it's Artifact Week. So I tend to remain sober while all this stuff is going on and then drink after.
We're hearing ourselves through your feedback.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, we'll have to figure this out in a second. Scott, thank you for joining us again. We're gonna let this circus run for about 5 more minutes before we pack it up and head in. It has been nothing if not entertaining. I see you nodding your head, so at least you can hear us, and we got your issues out of the way in the beginning.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
What do you think about the artifacts? You've been following it. Do you understand their impact? What they can do for the anomaly and the factions and the decay and all that?
A little bit, but I could say I'm not quite up to speed on what they're going to do. I know there's a lot of controversy about that. Jarvis doesn't want us messing with them, but obviously I think we're definitely need to. But I was very involved in the original Jarvis shards, and that was quite the burnout. Several sleepless nights and that sort of thing. But I think it's an interesting part of the game. I know there's been people that said they should keep them separate from the anomalies, having too much going on at once. I think that's partially true because trying to focus on one area while all this other stuff is going on makes it a little bit tougher. But it presents a challenge, and anything we can do to stop Devra, I think, is a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see if we can bring back Brandon for one last college try. So he's muted right now. He put some earplugs in. I know he's got a pretty interesting take because we've been talking about this in our anomaly communities for a while. What should we do? What shouldn't we do? So let's see. Brandon, can you hear us? I promise you, we did not impose a 30-second live delay taping on your feed. One last college try. I'm going to stop talking. When you hear me stop talking, Brandon, the floor is yours. We've been talking about this in our anomaly communities for a while. What should we do? What shouldn't we do? So, let's see. Brandon, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Brandon. I can hear you.
Okay, great.
We did not impose a 30-second live delay taping on your feed. I'm going to stop talking. When you hear me stop talking, Brandon, the floor is yours.
Brandon has a big lag.
Yeah. So tell you what, I'm actually I'm going to restart my browser, and then if that doesn't fix it, I'll just dial out.
You know what, Brandon? I appreciate it, but I think we're going to call it for tonight. It's about almost 10 o'clock anyway, our time, so.
Next time we can hide if you need the drink.
Yeah, we should put that as a requirement.
That's a good luck charm, yes.
I think this is a Shaper boycott.
It might be. We've been spreading too much good information around.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, that's going to be it for Behind the Scanner this week. We appreciate you tuning in and watching all the hijinks that occurred. And, hey, if it was entertaining, awesome. we got to learn a little bit about Scott Jacobs, and we talked a little bit about the anomalies and the artifacts. So next week, let me see, who are we going to have? Does anybody know off the top of your head?
I don't have it.
Layman Franklin from, I think he's actually from Raleigh.
North Carolina, yeah, the honey badger. Absolutely. That should be a good one.
I'm so sorry, I forgot the other person.
Oh, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Okay.
It's. I'll give you a hint. He's from Australia.
Yeah, but oh my God.
Gavin Red Gold, the red iguana from
Oh, you're Gavin.
Oh yeah, Gavin.
He, level 15s. Yes.
Yes, yes. All right. So Gavin and Layman Franklin will be on with us next week. If you know someone that might be a good guest, please let us know by going to our bit.ly page. We've got a form you can submit. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/BTS, obviously initials of behind the scanner, _guest. Again, that's bit.ly, bit.ly/BTS_guest.
Well, and if you missed part of the show or the whole show, don't worry. It was you just need to watch half of it, and the other half you can dismiss it. You can go to our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/behindthescanner.
And for those of you who are still watching and want more, we also have part of the Meridian Project, Kelly's weekly video hangout, also known as the Ingress Happy Hour, and drinking is also encouraged. So that's on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can find more information on that either on the Meridian Project page or Kelly's personal page.